Hey everybody, this is Steve Moore. I'm the owner of this fabulous running store, Run More, here in Westminster, Maryland. I am recording this myself today on my iPhone as we are still closed during the pandemic. But we were going to give you a sneak peek at the new Altra Torin Plush 4.5 that is coming out at the end of this month. We're recording this in the beginning of May, and this is coming out the end of May. So this is our first sneak peek into this shoe. If you've been running in the Torin, the standard Torin 4.0, and you liked it, good news, it's gonna be around for 2 years. That was a 2-year shoe, so we won't see an updated that until spring of 2021. For us, the standard Torin actually has been one of our best-selling ultras that we've ever had. It just seems to fit people's foot well. And then we had this complementary shoe, the Torin Plush, that had been doing really well itself. They sort of splintered off. They used to just do a Torin, and they had a Torin and a Torin knit. If you remember, the 3.5 sort of had two different versions of the same Torin with just different uppers. And then last year we saw it sort of splinter off between a Torin and just a straight Torin Plush. Similar but different shoes. The Torin Plush is, as you can guess it, more plush than the standard Torin. So this now is the newest version, the 4.5. Couple things right away, it's much lighter. So it shed a whole ounce of weight, actually a little more than an ounce, 1.1 ounces to be exact. So the Torin Plush now actually weighs in at the exact same weight as the Torin 4.0. So in theory, we've gotten softer, we've got higher stack height, but we've lost some weight, so which is really nice. So this stack height on this guy is 28 millimeters, compared to like your standard Torin 4.0 is just 26 millimeters. So just a little bit taller, and it's a little bit softer. You can feel it right away when you step it in, because a couple differences between the Torin Plush 4.5 and the other Plush 4.0 is they've added padding in some certain specific spots that do feel great when you put it in. They added the extra cushion and extra padding around your heel cup, so you are feeling a little more secure right here. They took away some of the bulky padding that was in the toe box, on the tongue of the old 4, and they've made it just a little bit thinner, but they've added a little bit of extra softness, a little bit deeper into the toe box here. So it feels good all the way around your foot. And so initially when I first saw that the weight was dropping, I assumed that we're gonna be losing some of the softness and some of the stack height, but that's not the case. So I'm not sure exactly where they shed all this weight, because it's the same midsole, it's the same sort of design and feel and idea, so I'm not sure where the haircut came on this guy. We really like this shoe for a lot of different reasons. We like this shoe for somebody who's doing longer stuff. We like this for shoe from somebody doing sort of some gym stuff as well. I like shoes that are specific for each task, but that's easy for me to say. I've got a lot of shoes at my disposal, but sometimes people come in here and they do I need one shoe to sort of rule them all. And depending on sort of the breakdown of what they're doing, if somebody says I'm doing 75% running versus 25% gym, for example, the Plush is great because you can do both those categories in it. If you were more 50-50 split or even 75-25 favoring yourself towards gym over running, then I might think of something else, like perhaps like the VHO from Altra as something that you can do that's more gym centric. But if majority of your running and activities and walking is in something that is more run specific, then the Plush 4.5 could be a great option for you. And now this is considered a max cushion, so we have stuff like your entry level lightweight trainer, and then you have sort of your beefy mid cushion, which is where the standard 4.0 is, and then the Plush. We get asked a lot, can I use this shoe for X distance? A mile training run, a 5K, a 10K, a half, a marathon. Now you can wear this shoe for longer stuff, for shorter stuff. If you were doing a 5K and such, there's no reason why you couldn't wear this shoe. But if somebody comes in here and says, I'm doing a marathon, there are shoes that I wouldn't pull. I certainly wouldn't go out there and pull something real light, especially somebody who's gonna be on their feet for hours. Maybe it's their first time marathon. I'm not so inclined to go in and say, here, try this, Brooks Launch or something that's much more in that lightweight fast category. I'm much more inclined to give somebody like a Plush that's gonna protect them for the long haul. And that's what this shoe for me is really designed for. And because of that, it does cost a couple extra bucks than like a standard mid cushion, but there's a reason why you're paying that little bit extra, is that idea of feeling nice and plush in this shoe. Going back to the idea of this shoe versus a couple other iterations of it. We mentioned in the 3.5 they had a standard and they had sort of the knit. That knit to me was almost too flexible. It didn't have any sort of design to the shoe. It almost just felt like a whole thing was kind of socky, and you felt yourself sort of flopping around in that shoe. We definitely had people that would come in that if you sometimes, well, we see people's feet a lot more than probably you do, but we see people's feet that might be a little bit more hooked one way than the other. And I would call that in that shoe, I would see sort of like banana foot. That's what I would call it, because if somebody had sort of a weird angled foot, you can see the shoe actually moving with your foot totally. And some people really dig that. But we would get people that said, if I'm not running on like a totally straight road, or if I'm doing stuff that may have some side to side, maybe they are using it out on the trail for whatever reason, the word we use is sloppy. You found yourself all over the shoe. It wasn't really holding you then. So this shoe definitely have a little bit more of a heel cup to it, not as super tight as say something like, I don't know, like the Provision, for example, but you definitely feel like you are held in this heel a little bit better than you would in the knit. I just wanted to make that clear because the old knit, if people are now ready to upgrade to it, definitely didn't have that same feeling on the heel. The other thing with this shoe and with all Ultra shoes, we get asked a lot is it truly wide? You know, is it feeling like the old Ultras? Because a lot of people that came from Ultras from long ago, they really did love and were used to sort of, I hate to say clown shoe, but they were used to a really, really rounded shoe box. And some of the models have started to get a little bit narrower over the years. The thing that I've noticed with Ultra is it feels like their sizing just in general seems to be dialed in a little bit better. We used to see stuff that was sort of ranging all over the board. They feel like, to me, their shoes have been getting a little bit smaller and they're fitting much more true to size. This shoe to me though fits really rounded. I keep holding it like this because you can see it really is a nice rounded toe box. Again, compared to something like the VHO, which is more gym, I'm not sure if it's really giving a great indication of the differences, but the Torin Plush is a good bit wider than the VHO and the Provision. For us, the 4.0 Plush was our widest fitting model from Ultra that we were in here. And this to me, compared to the old one, I was measuring them up and looking at them. And really, honestly, if you felt like you had the right width and such in the standard 4.0, then the Plush 4.5 should feel just great for you. The other thing I liked about the addition on the upper, this more knit upper that they're using for this whole new model, is it gives a little bit more. If you can zone in a little bit, I don't know who I'm talking to, it's just me. If you look in here on sort of where you might be able to need a little bit of extra flex, for me, my little knuckle on my foot there, that's where I need a little bit of extra give on my foot. And while it was sort of knitty and such, where I actually needed the stretch, I wasn't getting it. But the new version, it's not so much as like I did a review recently of the Hokukabu, which like you could bend and pull and stretch and such. This one doesn't have that, but it's definitely much more forgiving, and the area that's going to give me a little more flex is a little more defined and prevalent in this shoe than I was in previous versions of the 4.0 Plush. So I did like the ability to have a little bit more wiggle room and a little bit more stretch in this shoe where I needed it. So to me, this is a nice all around long distance, and again, if you wanted to do shorter stuff, you certainly can, but to me, you know, the Plush, something that's a little bit more elevated as far as what that cushion is and how much stack height it is designed for longer stuff. But now that they've shed over an ounce of weight, if you just wanted to throw it on and do something, you know, a fast couple miles around the neighborhood and stuff, you can still do this. People ask for like shoe suggestions for injury stuff. One of the nice things with the rounded toe box, again, it's great for conditions like Morton's neuroma or somebody who gets that burning, tingling numbness that may come to their foot, or getting that pain in that third and fourth metatarsal. This is really designed to kind of help you with that. I always equate it to when people come in here and they'll give me, you know, some sort of say like I get that burning sensation and such. And we talk about, you know, putting your hand in a glove that's not shaped like your hand, and like that doesn't make any sense, right? So why do we do that to our feet? So this is letting your foot kind of feel that nice natural sensation. Again, all Ultras have a little bit more of a raised arch to it. This is a neutral shoe, so it's not a firm, super aggressive stability arch, but it just has a higher natural arch to it in general. And with that zero drop platform where your heel and your toe are set on the same trajectory here and a higher arch, you can feel it stretching you out your arch as you're walking. So if somebody comes in here with plantar fasciitis and they need a little bit more support, and maybe they're a neutral candidate, but they're dealing with plantar fasciitis because they have really high arches, this is a great shoe for them to try on because it's going to give them protection while not rolling them too much to the lateral side, which is then going to affect other injury stuff. You know, it might affect your hips and such like that. So this is a great option for somebody who's a neutral arched plantar fasciitis sufferer. This is definitely a brand that we pull a lot. We store. We've been carrying Ultra since we opened in 2014, and this has been one of our favorite brands to work with. And so anyway, if you have any questions down below on this shoe or anything else, feel free to leave in the comments. I'm trying to get back to everybody as soon as we can. And I just want to say real quick, thanks to everybody who's been subscribing and liking and asking questions and ordering from our online shop. It really means a lot to us right now. We love doing these videos, and we want to do them for a long time moving forward. So if you haven't, it would really help us out to kind of find some new people to like and subscribe. And if you wanted to buy this shoe or anything else on our website, we are doing a a promo code right now of Shop Small. It'll save you 15% and get you free shipping on anything on our website. You're also able now to pre-book this shoe, so we're going to have an option for you to go ahead and buy this shoe now, and we'll ship it out as soon as it becomes available at the end of May, a couple days into June. I'm hoping to have this in shop by the end of May. Hopefully we'll be here ready to serve our running community and provide this shoe and everything else that we do. So thanks everybody, stay safe, keep running, and we'll talk to you soon.